Hey there, quirky people! I'm your host, Anna, and today we'll be looking at one particular Kang variant, Victor Timely. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania brought quite a few Kang variants into the mix. But the one that should really stand out is the final variant introduced in the post-credits scene. I want to issue a spoiler warning just in case you guys haven't seen the movie or heard about the post-credits scene yet. Go watch the film! It is certainly not as bad as the critics suggest, and the audience score of the film totally proves that. In fact, many would agree that it was much better than Phase 4 movies like Thor: Love and Thunder or Black Widow, which have been rated much higher on Rotten Tomatoes for some reason. Quantumania has something very different and unique to offer us, and Jonathan Majors totally came in as a force to join the list of Marvel's great villains. He played so many Kang variants, but 5 of them stood out. One was obviously the exiled one from the Quantum Realm. But the final variant introduced in the film could turn out to be the most crucial one. In total, he is the 6th major Kang variant to be brought to screen in Quantumania. He is an expert strategist, a veteran of armed and unarmed combat, and has an indomitable will to succeed through struggle. Making his debut in Quantumania's post-credit scene, which played out a sequence of Loki Season 2. We would get to see this scene from a different angle or perspective when Season 2 eventually arrives. But with the wardrobe and setup, it's clear that the scene takes place in the early 1900s era, where Victor Timely comes in sporting a mustache. He appears on stage and totally scares the crap out of Loki while making a presentation about controlling time. But his story in the comics is very intriguing, as he is actually Kang Prime, that is the main version of Kang the Conqueror. After conquering everything and battling the Avengers, Nathaniel Richards decided to go back to the year 1901. Here he became Victor Timely, the brilliant inventor and industrialist who created his own time of Timely, Wisconsin. He became the first mayor of this town and transformed the city into a technological marvel. But ultimately, the city was used as a base for his conquests in the future. Within this city, he established Kanopolis, which was a massive sub-city that was virtually connected to every era in human history. Initially, we presumed that MCU's version of Kanopolis could be the empire that Kang built within the Quantum Realm. But the real Kanopolis could still be brought into the picture through Victor Timely and Loki. In this fortress of Kang, there are artifacts and pieces of infrastructure from different eras of time, and the whole city remains practically undetectable. So basically, Victor Timely was just a disguise for the real Kang Prime to hide his plans and actions from the rest of the world. It allowed him to use the people of the town and build his technology secretly. You see, this Kang variant has been through a lot. He had conquered ancient Egypt as Rama-Tut. Then after being pushed out of Egypt, he met with Dr. Doom and became the Scarlet Centurion. Then he went forward in time and ended up in the 40th century, 1,000 years after his own birth year. He conquered everything in that era and came back to fight the Avengers in the 21st century. But the Avengers forced him to flee, and that's when he came to the early 1900s to regroup and build a new fortress. Then a few years later, he faked his death and returned in front of the people as Victor Timely Jr. This is similar to how Kango has been coming back as an actor generation after generation in the MCU.
You're talking about that is my great-great-grandfather. That is my great-grandfather. Grandfather, father, and me. I'm part of the greatest dynasty in the history of time.
In 1929, Timely Jr. recruited Professor Phineas T. Horton into his company, Timely Industries. Horton eventually designed the Human Torch android, and the technologies from Timely Industry also kept on shaping the 20th century. So now, Victory will prove to be the most fearsome Kang variant. Loki is right to be afraid of him, because this variant is clearly trying to hide in plain sight. Whatever the Council of Kangs are planning could be coming through him. After all, he could very well be the new Kang Prime, just like he was in the comics. Towards the end of Season 1, we saw that the TVA was allowing the branches to grow under the leadership of a new Kang variant. Now this Kang variant could be Victor Timely himself, and following his trail, Loki must have reached the city of Timely, Wisconsin. Now Loki and this variant of Kang will finally come face to face, and his action will further set up the events of Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. It will be interesting to see what technologies will Victor bring into play in Loki Season 2. And it is possible that instead of being the leader of Immortus, Rama-Tut and Scarlet Centurion, he could be running the TVA for them. So let's wait and see how their dynamic works in the MCU. But before ending this video, I have to say that Jonathan Majors is a brilliant actor. He is probably one of the best in the business right now. I mean, I totally love how he improvised playing He Who Remains in Loki.
The TVA, hence the timekeepers in a highly efficient bureaucracy, hence agents and agents of cosmic harmony, hence the author.
But he plays a mean and terrifying version of Kang in Quantumania that was truly badass. And then came the Council of Kangs, which totally unleashed his god-level acting prowess. Playing so many Kang variants so convincingly by finding distinctions in every one of them is not easy at all. Only a few actors have this capability, and Jonathan Majors is surely one of them. Are you excited to see Victor Timely and Loki? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the video. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.